before that, I just wanted to introduce you to John Batson, who's just so graciously volunteered to bring his instrument, and I just thought we could do a rousing rendition of God Bless America here. I'll sing it over.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Mr. Duffy Gilligan, the proprietor of this fine establishment. Mr. Gilligan.
If I could just say, first of all, welcome to you all. This is the barn in Valhalla. I built it 3.5 years ago. And part of what inspired me to build this barn is a favorite place of mine to go vacation every once in a while, when I really need to get away, is Colonial Williamsburg. And when I walk through the streets of Colonial Williamsburg, I just breathe in what was taking place about 230 years ago. I breathe in that there was a time when patriots would join together, perhaps in a barn out in the woods someplace, where they could talk about the issues of the day, where they could talk about the changes that needed to be made in their country. And of course, they were talking about waging a war against King George. The war that we need to wage will be done in the ballot. We need to vote. We need to get rid of a person who has mastered the fine art of going and collecting a check once a month for the 11th district, the 4th district here, and replace it with somebody who will actually do something. Yeah. So I want you to think that this is tonight is the beginning of the next revolution. It's peaceful, non-violent, but a revolution that we really can change every aspect, starting right here in Orange County in the 4th Congressional District. So welcome and thank you.
Tonight is celebrating a rock star in the Republican political scene. Her name is Audrey Heiser, and she is one of the founders of the Republican Party in Chatham County.
When you get to be 87 years old, you know who to look for the proper position at the proper time. We have found him. Yeah. All I've got to say is just get out there and work. Talk your head off. Be Irish like I am. Talk your head off and tell everybody how to vote and what to do about it. Thank you very much.
The second person I want to introduce is a gentleman for whom I have a tremendous amount of respect and admiration. His name is Grant Hoffman, and Grant was one of the very first people we hired out of Mercury MD when I was starting that software company. And you know, he was one of those folks who was kind enough to talk with me and my co-founder back when we were wearing short white coats and white pants running around Duke Hospital, and we were stealing time after shift to meet with people we thought could be useful. Grant was someone who'd been in the IT space, had been in healthcare IT, worked for one of the big IT consulting organizations, and we took a look at Grant and figured out, here's someone who could really bring some credibility to our organization. But it was a long time before our organization was credible enough to deserve Grant. But from the moment we were able to attract him, he was just an amazing team player and just someone who's a real part of the success story that we enjoyed, along with Jeff Keating, who I'd also like to recognize back there. and Mark Granville as well, some of the old, and Dave Levin. He's just gonna, you can't live without marketing. That's what I learned from Dave. So when you see these beautiful signs out there and you think, gosh, this is a really professional looking campaign, I learned it from Dave Levin. So give him all the credit for that.
And I'll make this very brief, simply because I know everybody's meeting. There's a lot of good discussions going on. I have never considered myself politically active, but I have always considered myself one of those people that always say, you know what, I don't vote for policies, I vote for the person. And the reason why I'm here, the reason why I'm contributing my money and my time to this campaign, to this person, is because I know BJ from a very personal level. If you look at his website, he has this tagline there which says peace, prosperity, and liberty. When I think about that, I think of BJ as a person who also has a lot of very personal peace. When you talk to him, you know he's a person who's not out to prove anything to anyone. He has a sense of character and sort of a sense of purpose and a sense of inevitability about the way that he talks. When you think about prosperity, I think about the jobs that he has created here in the Triangle, including myself. And he's a person whose whole ethos is about creating for other people. And when I think about liberty, I think about that in the context of who BJ is individually. And he doesn't want to run your life. He wants you to run your own life. BJ gave me a quote very early on where he said, you know what, Grant? I'm not afraid of taking a chance to do different things because I've been cancer-free for 35 years. And that's coming from a person who has spent his time when he was back in the medical profession seeing brain cancer, dealing with people. And that's the way BJ looks his life. Don't you want to have somebody in Washington who will represent you from that? BJ is a person of deep character who I admire and respect a lot. And I would talk a lot more if I could, but I think I'll leave it at that, just to simply say you're one of a kind, and I would be delighted to have you represent you.
None of this can happen alone, and for this, it's absolutely an act of faith to get out there and say, okay, we're going to run for Congress. But it really is the faith and the desire of a lot of people that know we can make a difference, all pitching in to make this happen. And the one thing I leave you with tonight is that we are getting into crunch time. Okay, this is the 2-minute warning. We've got early voting started on April 17th. The primary is on May 6th. There are people, for whatever reason, who really don't want me to win. Now, I don't understand that. I can't figure it out. But the good news is that the people who really don't want me to win, there just aren't that many of them. And the people that don't know about me, there's a ton of those. We got to work with that. And the people that do know about me and know about us and know about the revolution that we're trying to inspire to take our country back and get ourselves back to a federal government that follows the rules, well, I think we got a lot of those, and tonight's evidence of that. But we can't be complacent going into this election, and we absolutely have to get out there. Please, if you don't have a Laws for Congress bumper sticker plastered on your bumper yet or taped on the inside of your back window, we've got them here tonight. If you don't have a yard sign in your yard, we've got them here tonight. So get yourself equipped, take a stack of constitutions, go out, talk to your friends, and get people out to vote on May 6th. That is the big thing. Is kind of like we used to do the old, annual meetings in Mercury MD days with a big PowerPoint and charts and graphs and showing you all about the projections and all that. But really, the math here is very, very simple, okay? The last time we had a primary for this race, we had about 25,000 voters show up at the poll. It's just a really small number of people. 25,000 people, and that was in 2004. There was no presidential primary in 2004, so there's a good reason to suspect that the turnout for this Republican primary will be pretty much similar. So we're talking about 25,000 people will determine who gets to take on David Price in November. Now, just to give you some estimates, we've put out so far 7,000 constitutions to people, which is pretty good. We've got another 3,000 that are being loaded up right now, and we're canvassing again tomorrow. So we're going to be getting another 3,000 constitutions out there, and thanks to the wonderful success that this fundraiser has brought in, including the people that haven't been able to join us tonight, we've been able to pay for a direct mail campaign that's going to put out 40,000 postcards to a lot of folks who have got a history.